All right, what's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's having a good day so far. So, today's video is going to be on MPW, also known as Medical Properties Trust. So, this screenshot here was taken directly from their site. And so, what it states is we understand healthcare, we know hospital needs, and we have the capital resources that can help. MPT is a financial partner that offers more resources, more capability, and more ways for operators and investors to seize financial opportunities. And then down below it says who we are. Known as the world's leading source of capital for hospitals, experienced in unlocking the value of hospital real estate for growth, and preferred by top operators around the globe. And then to the right, you can kind of see their global portfolio mix. Obviously, the U.S. is their biggest at around 60% of their portfolio. Again, on their website, it says first and only company of its kind to focus exclusively on hospital facilities in the U.S. and around the world. They're the second largest owner of hospital beds in the U.S. with approximately 46,000, and they're the first U.S. company of its kind to invest in hospitals globally. So, with all that put together, I think it puts them in the unique category, especially with healthcare being such a big industry and not only looking to the US, but also expanding globally into those international markets. So, on this screen, we're going to look at the investment strategy that MPW uses. So, on the left hand side here, it shows existing hospitals, acute care, rehabilitation, long term acute care hospitals, and other real estate facilities that generally require physician orders for admission. New developments, so construction of new and or replacement hospitals, and facility expansions, so expansion and renovation of existing hospitals. And then on the right hand side, we can see their capital allocations. Again, this is kind of a breakdown of their main allocations than properties that they're invested in. So we can see that right off the bat, general acute care hospitals are number one, followed by behavioral health facilities, and the third largest is inpatient rehabilitation hospitals. And for a little more information for those who might not know about those top three. So for general acute care hospitals, that's going to be for surgery, acute medical conditions or injuries, and usually for short-term stays. Now, the inpatient rehabilitation hospitals, that's going to be for recovery and intensive rehab after an injury or illness. And then the behavioral health facilities, that's going to be for mental, social, and even physical illnesses that require a hospital care. And so I think, for those being the main three properties being invested in, I think that's great, especially now and going forward in the future. There's always going to be a need for hospitals or these other type of facilities that administer care. So I think, obviously general acute care is going to be a huge play. And I think it's good to see that, roughly 12% of their portfolio is behavioral health because that's becoming such a huge issue these days. And so it's good to see that such a big number of their portfolio is invested into that industry. All right, so now we're on to the dividend history section. And this is just a screenshot here to show the different dividend dates along with the cash amount that was dispersed to the shareholders. And so from this information, we can see that they are giving out their dividend on a quarterly basis. And for a decent cash amount there for the stock value. Right now, the stock's trading around $18.50 with a dividend yield of 6.57%. Again, one of the things that I look for when looking at these good dividend stocks are they good dividend payers as far as, they've had consistency and some growth over time, or is it something that, they've just recently incorporated offering a dividend to their shareholders. I also want to make sure that the stock itself is going to be consistent too, and that it's not super volatile or risky. And going back to around 2005, they were trading at probably $10 to $12, and to date they're around $18.50. And so, that's pretty good growth over time. But with also offering a 6.5% yield, that's also very generous on the company's part. All right, so for the final rating here for MPW, I'd have to give them around an 8. They have a pretty good investment strategy when it comes to how they allocate all their assets and the different properties that they're invested in. Um, I like how diversified it is, along with, they're not just looking for, companies in the US, they're investing internationally into those markets too. I think that healthcare is definitely a big play right now and going forward. Again, that's something that's, it's not going to go away. So I like that. And I also like that they've been consistent payers in their dividend. They offer a pretty generous dividend yield. And they also have, pretty consistent price for their share as well as growth in that as well.